to fade away. This is bigger than ourselves. We won't let the world burn away. Burn away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake it to the back of the pack. Kill it anyway. To blame. Haters face the world's mistakes. Wake it to the back of the pack. Kill it anyway. And we feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake it to the back of the pack. Kill it anyway. To blame. Haters face the world's mistakes. Wake it to the back of the pack. Kill it anyway. Something's wrong, I feel it circling like vultures around my brain. Couldn't see the danger in your eyes. Draw me in, got me spinning now like water to a drain. You were perfect till I realized you hadn't shown your face. You sing a pretty song to drag my heart along. A siren serenade. You're ringing out to pray. Your love's a wreck and you know it's wrong. I was deaf to the ringing bells, wanting me to break. Deafened by the sirens, soothing lies. I can't leave.
I think like that's why I firmly believe like in ER, like ER doctors see the true like face of humanity. You know what I mean? Because
They
what
do.
people do to each other is just
And I think the people, the ER doctors that see the most are the radiologists, who just see the things that people will put in themselves. Because like sometimes you see those X-rays and stuff, and you're just like, what is that a banana? Is that a whole banana? Or it's like
Like-
okay, that shouldn't be there.
Did you
Or it's like
even? Right.
that's
Yeah, and then it's not just
like
it's
yeah,
the
it's like that's a Game Boy. Like
right.
how did you eat a Game Boy?
Well,
Like
that's the thing. When you have the not just the why question, but the how. It's like
Right.
when I have to ask why and how. It's like
Right.
it's,
There's so many pictures of X-rays of just, especially with animals and stuff too.
Oh
where
my
it's just
God.
like, oh, I mean,
people are horrible.
like, well, there was a dog that ate like 15, like or whatever, like 5 boxes of tampons.
Yes.
And it was like an emergency because they had to get everything out, because if they
And pass it.
opened up, it would absorb everything and basically like desiccate the dog.
God,
So
from the
it's like-
inside. What a
it's like-
horrible.
so being at the animal hospital that day, like, okay, but the funny, but not the funny thing, but the good thing about that story was like the dog ended up being fine, like at the
Yeah,
end.
yeah.
So it ended up being one of these what was it? There used to be a show in the '80s called like Impossible, or like Real Impossible People, or something that had those
Oh,
kind of
that's
stories.
incredible. You mean like remember that one?
Oh, That's Incredible. That's what it was. That's
John
Incredible. I think
Davidson.
there was one other.
Kathy Lee
Yeah. Who can forget Fran Tarkenton?
Right. Used to be a quarterback for the Jets.
I would have no idea.
That's the
'cause
sports ball that you don't.
I don't know anything about sports whatsoever.
That's the sports ball.
But
So we're live, by the way.
sounds like a good fun night. Hey everybody.
So we're here, and we
Hello.
are always a wonderful hello to our amazing viewers.
Yep.
Love you guys. Super J, if you're out there, love all the love to you.
Always peace out.
Well, not peacing out, we're peacing in. Peace in.
Or yeah. Well, you could say peace out to you, but not like peace. Yeah,
Peace in.
there's several ways to interpret, but
It's true.
um,
So as normal, we're gonna have our 5 questions.
as normal, we're here to help, and we're
that's
here
right.
to
Answer
you
5.
know.
We're here to answer 5 questions. While we're here.
we're here to tackle. I mean, we're really here to tackle society's biggest problems.
That's
I
right.
mean, to say it any differently would be to underplay it.
That's right.
So
Super
you
J's
know,
here.
but yeah, as
She
part of that, we're
checked
here to
in.
help.
Super J checked in.
Yeah.
Ready to rock.
Oh, well,
Alright.
you know, and that's
Without further ado,
Um,
then.
and Super J
Normal.
also like provides inspiration to help, and you know,
I think so.
it's
'Cause there are
she also
times.
provides valuable insight
Valuable
during
insights.
the live show, which I appreciate.
I'll fully admit, like sometimes after we get off air, you know, I'll go to Green Pants and I'll say, "Why the fuck are we doing this? There's got to be something better we could do with our time, right?" And Green Pants, to his credit, says, "No, this is what we need to do to help the people. We need to
True.
Be there for our watchers,
True.
including Super J."
You know, I mean,
And then he
sometimes
talks me off the
it's
ledge.
like-
I feel like I'm on a ledge. He talks me off the ledge, and then
yeah, I mean, ideally, I'd be able to hold his head in, well, you know, while he's in the fetal position and comfort him, but I can't do that, you know, remotely. But I do what I can.
I suck my thumb.
And yeah, you know, or just, you know, help him on his journey, you know, to getting better. So, but yeah, we do this despite the trauma that it does to ourselves. We feel that this is the, you know, this is the least we can do.
That's right. So it's
And
yeah, that's right.
so, you know, we want to, you know, we want to hear your stories, no matter how
We do. We
fucking
really do.
tragic or weird.
or weird or odd
and
you
we
all
wanna
are.
help.
It's
Yeah.
like- all right,
And because, you know, you got to get people out of Utah.
I gotta get. Our ultimate goal is to depopulate Utah. All right. First question comes from Kendall from Sacramento, California. Now, Kendall could be male or female,
Right.
I guess, right? Kendall from Sacramento, California. Kendall says, "My
Kendall,
boss."
I think female, I would assume, but
I've known male Kendall.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway,
We'll see. Maybe from the question.
Kendall from Sacramento. Yeah, maybe we can infer. Let's see. My boss is having an affair with someone else at work, and the whole office knows. He's married, he's not. They'll go into each other's offices and spend a ridiculous amount of time together and leave looking giddy and flustered. Here's the hard part. Her husband regularly comes into the workplace, minimum once a week, to take her out for lunch, pick her up, etc. Feel terrible having small talk and looking into his eyes when I know what's going on. Should I say something? Is it my place to say something? I'm scared of the consequences that would probably result in me getting fired. Feel very guilty knowing and not saying anything, says Kendall. This is straightforward.
No.
Right.
And no.
Right. Kendall, it's none of your
Um,
freaking business.
Yeah, I encourage you to fear the consequences
Yeah.
because I can wholeheartedly agree that you will absolutely be fired.
Yeah.
Like, what? Think of it this way: why is it that you feel guilty? Like, what are you feeling guilty for? Like, you have no idea what's going on
No
in
idea.
their household. Maybe their husband,
Maybe he abuses
the
her.
husband's,
Right?
or
Who
you know, on
knows?
it, turn that around. Perhaps the husband's kink is being cuckolded.
Right.
You know, that could be an entire, like, you know, you're
Cuckolding.
messing with relationship dynamics and
Yes.
you know, you're only seeing what may be a small part of an extremely complicated BDSM roleplay situation
That too.
that involves a lot of human power dynamics and lube. So,
Lots and lots.
bottom
of it.
line, mind your fucking business.
Stay out of it. It's none of your business. Don't worry about it. Here's the reason, and we've had similar questions before. Here's the thing: one takes two to tango, right? So again, you don't know what the situation with this guy is. He could have his own mistress. He could have an open marriage relationship. You have no idea, right? Two, you don't know what they could be on. Like maybe they're in the process of divorce. Maybe he
Right.
makes her life miserable. Maybe he's emotionally abusive. Maybe he's physically abusive. You know what I mean? There's all these potential possibilities, right? So yeah,
Like there's so much like there's so many there are so many things in your question that you're just assuming as like background
Right.
context. You're
Right.
assuming like standard variables
victim
apply,
is.
but you
Exactly.
know nothing other than that there's guys coming in and that her husband comes in, but that's it.
That's right.
And
Uh,
so there is no need for you to feel guilty because it is not your place to be involved in the situation. If you were witnessing abuse of some kind, that would be a completely different situation.
Correct. You are
This
not.
is just you think something's fishy, but you know,
Yes.
sorry, you're not gonna, you know, like if it bothers you that much, look for another job where, you know, I don't know, people are less ball gag curious or
There you go.
whatever. You know,
Just accept the fact that again, that there are two sides to every story. You don't know what the situation is, right? So don't assume again, like Green Pants said, don't assume this guy's the victim. Don't necessarily.
Right.
You don't know what the situation.
And even if it is exactly what you think it is,
right, still none of your
okay,
business.
but it's still none of your fucking business.
Everybody's an adult. You know, it's like
Yeah.
Super J threw in at me. It could be a lavender marriage. I must admit I've not heard that term. What is a lavender marriage?
I do not know what a lavender marriage is.
Super J, please help us, educate us. I
Yeah.
gotta go to the internet. Looking it up. Lavender marriage.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I had
So
the
I'll
internet at my
look up that
fingertips.
information.
Oh, it's one where a man and a woman, where one or both partners are
Love each other.
LGBTQ+ and conceal their true sexual orientation, often for social or professional reasons, gain certain advantages. Oh, it's like a gay guy marrying a woman to be married to a woman.
Oh,
for
yeah,
certain
yeah.
advantage.
Oh, that's called a lavender marriage. Okay,
That's called
that makes sense.
lavender.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Super J,
there's
thank
like
you for-
Hollywood marriages that were like that,
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
So many Hollywood marriages that were just like convenience.
I think not as popular
You know.
today now that homosexuality is much
No.
more accepted, right? But yeah, but I'm sure that could still happen.
Right.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
So it could be a lot of marriage.
yeah, there was a lot of-
means.
I mean, you know, poor guy from Bewitched. I mean,
Oh,
No, it's
Darren.
just,
Which Darren? Darren 1 or
yeah.
Darren 2? Because there were two of them. There was Dick
Darren-
York,
it was
and
Dick
there was,
York.
yeah,
Dick Sargent.
Dick Sargent.
Yeah.
Weird they got two Dicks, huh?
Yeah.
For two Darrens. Two Darrens, two Dicks.
Yep,
One
exactly.
Samantha.
It seemed like an odd choice, but you know,
The
it's one
nose,
Samantha
wiggle, 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 and then magic would happen.
though. I had a thing for Elizabeth Montgomery. She was one of my first crushes. I think.
kind of did too.
Although more than her,
Was it-
I Dream of Jeannie.
Was it her? No, I was more Mrs. Montgomery. Yeah,
Oh,
I Dream of Jeannie was too typical hot. You know what I mean? I liked the slightly.
oh, too typical hot.
Yeah,
That was,
yeah. I like
you
the
just you were
slightly. Yeah,
when you were 9.
right.
Yeah,
I like the
you had that.
alternative.
What the
Like in
genie in a
this-
bottle wasn't exotic enough for you.
Right.
Okay.
It's like
That's
liking the
fine.
Stones instead of the Beatles. You know what I mean? It's kind of like you like the more edgy. Elizabeth Montgomery. She looked more. You know what the thing was? Elizabeth Montgomery. She was more innocent. That's kind of my thing.
Mm.
You know what I mean? She was like sort of reserved how she dressed and all this other stuff. I'm like, Jeannie's a little, the belly's
Yeah.
out there. You know what I mean? A little more comfortable
Yeah,
with
yeah. Jeannie
sexuality.
was more slutty, which is why I liked her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
that
I
makes
know,
sense.
I know that's your type.
Yeah.
No, that's fine.
Absolutely.
I like
Yeah,
I like
she
the
seems-
demure girls.
She seems fun.
I like the
Definitely fun.
I like the demure nice girls on the surface that are actually hugely slutty in bed. You know what I mean? And they
Right.
sort of mask that thing, and that's what I envision Elizabeth Montgomery was. But
Mhm. Well, and Elizabeth, her whole thing was that she had to hide who she was. Jeannie never hid who she was. It was
It-
her,
Hagman, Larry Hagman, had to,
Larry Hagman is the lieutenant.
Major Nelson.
Major Nelson. Yeah, basically just like came because she wanted to do stuff all the time, and he was always
Right. called him
the,
master and the whole thing, and he was like,
Yeah.
"No, Jeannie, back in your bottle." It's like you're an
Yeah.
idiot,
Right. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, and I think now that show would be considered problematic.
Problematic.
Is that a
Would
hot
not
take?
be on the air today. That's a fair hot
Mhm.
take. Yeah.
I think that would. I mean, it
I
could. It would maybe as a YouTube show. I don't know,
And maybe
or
did they
something.
eventually get married and have a kid?
I have
know they got
absolutely no
married.
idea.
Jeannie and I got
Oh,
all
like
these
in
questions
the
for
show or
Yeah,
in real
yeah,
life?
in the show,
Or-
in the show,
yeah.
in the show.
Oh yeah, no, again. I had moved on to other crushes by the time. I
Who
did
was
get
your
into
next one after that?
The late seasons.
Major Tony Nelson eventually get married in season 5 episode titled "The Wedding." There you go. They did get married.
All right. Well.
Oh wait,
enough of
we're
this.
off topic.
We have,
Kendall.
We have
Kendall-
way off topic.
Kendall,
Yeah,
don't worry about it. Kendall, don't worry about
yeah.
it.
Just yeah.
Yeah.
relax.
It's
you know,
fine.
Or
You don't know the whole
or,
story.
You know,
This guy could be a horrible
Yeah.
person. Anyway, we've gone
right.
through it.
Or it
No,
could be anything.
Or
you
it could
don't
be
know.
lavender.
So,
Think like we just defined what lavender is. So
yeah, exactly.
Oh, I know.
I learned something.
Because we're talking about marriage as a convenience and yada yada, and then we got into
Right.
York and the whole thing. All right. Anyway, the next question comes from Charlie, which again could be a male or female. Name. I've known female Charlies.
Okay.
Let's see.
Right.
Charlie from Dayton, Ohio. Charlie says, "Oh nope, never mind. Charlie's a 25-year-old male. Fine.
Oh, okay.
I can't.
So all you had to do is
all I had to do was read the actual goddamn question.
Or look at the first literal
Yes.
thing. Okay.
What I hope this proves is that I do not read the questions ahead of time, clearly, because I
That
would
is
not
true,
come across
yeah.
looking like an idiot willingly.
Right. Never.
Anyway, so Charlie's a
You did that shit
25.
on purpose.
Gotcha, that's on purpose. So Charlie's 25-year-old male can't seem to get fully hard with his girlfriend. We tried everything, even when she's giving me head and hand jobs, I can't get fully erect like I can when it's just me. It's not like I don't get hard, but it's not fully hard. It's hard enough to have sex, but I never climax. We just go until she does. I can only climax by masturbating. What the hell's wrong with me? Charlie, you're coming to the right place.
Yeah. Okay.
We have several theories.
It sounds like you're playing football with Lucy, but you're never actually getting to kick the football. But in this case, Lucy isn't pulling it away. Your own performance anxiety is. So, I think that's a complicated metaphor to say that basically your performance anxiety is causing you to only be able to get like so excited and it's not abnormal at all, and then there's nothing wrong with you at all. There's a million reasons why this could be happening. It's
Yes.
actually very similar to like being pee shy, where it's like it's not a physical problem, it's just like your brain is telling you it's not a and
Can't be
so
here.
it's
Do
a
not be here. Not
right,
be.
exactly. It has nothing to do with like the functioning of your urethra.
Mhm.
So so you can do it, but you can't unless no one else is listening. So if you're just alone in a safe space, whatever, your parents' bedroom, and you're jack it off, then yeah, you can come. But if you're not in your parents' bedroom and you're somewhere less safe,
Yes.
then such as in your girlfriend,
Yes.
he's unable to.
Right.
It happens. Also, a lot of antidepressants can cause this.
I was gonna say, look at your medications, right?
Yeah, there's so many like antidepressants, SSRIs, has a lot of them have a side effect of lowering sexual urge, and and part of that will be it will allow you to maintain an erection for however long, but it never reaches orgasm, which is what you seem to be describing, which is
Right.
absolutely a typical thing. And it happens a lot of times when someone starts on an antidepressant and they all of a sudden find this happening. So talk to him about, or think, if that's effective, or if that's a possibility, then that could be something.
Yeah, for sure. I was gonna say, I would be observant about what you masturbate to. You know what I mean? And if it's like there's certain
Right.
things that turn you on, you could be developing certain kinks you never knew about, and maybe your girlfriend doesn't feel those.
Right. So
Um,
like when you're having sex with your girlfriend,
me.
and you're no. So
When I'm having sex with
I'm
Charlie's
talking to Chuck.
girlfriend?
This is between me and
Oh,
Chuck.
I see.
Okay, Chuck.
I thought I was.
When
okay.
you
Okay.
are banging your girlfriend, what are you thinking of?
What are
Are
you thinking
you into the situation that is
Yes.
happening and
Yes.
you're into it, or are you grabbing a image from your spank bank and
Masturbatory
and actually
arena.
using that as the image
Correct.
to facilitate your period interest and facilitate your erection? Because I think Facilitate Your Erection was an awesome band in like
Facilitating Your
they were
Erection? Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was
New
like
wave
late
band.
90s, I think. So like what does it take to get you across the spooge finish line? Like,
Right.
or is
What's
that just
the
spooge
thing?
line?
What's the thing you look at as you come, basically? And then,
Right.
how's your girlfriend not fulfilling that? What are you thinking about, like Greenpen said, while you are actually having sex? But like some of this might be easy, right? If you think like, well, I always masturbate to gay porn, well, then we have another conversation to have, and that's that you're probably gay.
Right. You know,
For example, right?
and if it's entirely goats, then there's another conversation that needs to be had. You know?
right. You get off the
Um,
bestiality, and that's fine too, right?
Right. Yeah. No, that's not fine actually.
Actually, and quite illegal actually as well. Right? It's not,
But
it's
I
not-
just want
it's not-
it is the official policy of OK Seriously that Green Pants is against bestiality. Vanguard for
No, I am
bestiality.
not ready.
I think that has been established. I like that that's canon now.
Say
You
that.
can put that. It's down on the docket.
Oh my
and,
God.
You know. Okay.
Oh lordy.
Just make sure that that's canon.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah.
So
it's
what
something
what
that.
else? Oh,
Yeah.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh no. I'm.
So would you say that the fact that he can get himself really hard and ejaculate means there is probably not a physiological problem?
Right, exactly. Yeah, so I think it is not a nut busting issue because like if you're
The
because
nut can be
I
busted.
think right, exactly. Like you're able to bust your nut. It just depends on what it is that's that you're imagining in order to facilitate that. But the fact is you can do it, so it's not a physiological issue. It has to be pretty much not able to happen anywhere. If it's actually physiological, it wouldn't be situational.
Yeah.
So the good news is, the message of your brain sending to your dick, green across the board. You're good. So it's really just basically adjusting the messaging so that you can have better control over what goes on down there.
Right. I would share also that the consider the relationship with your girlfriend. Like, are you super into her? Do you find her incredibly attractive? You know what I mean? Or are you like, things not that great? You know what I mean? I think take stock of that because
Yeah.
I've been in situations where I've been with relationships that have gone way too long, and I was very unhappy in the relationship in general. And we would have sex. I would not enjoy it. I mean, I would still get erect, but I would not be able to finish. Right? Because I'm like, I don't want to be in this relationship. Occupy your mind based on things that are happening outside the bedroom, right? Why I'm asking you.
Right.
Sure. Oh. Yep.
That might be an awkward conversation, or it could just be as simple as medication thing,
Right.
Or
if you have some particular kinks, again,
and
investigate your
then
porn.
right, and then if you find that is something, then try to introduce that, or at least a version of it, or something
Mhm.
into your relationship that will provide you the excitement you need to actually Vanguard's a huge fan of intimacy, and a lot of times
Really?
what he means by intimacy is fucking. So in this case, when you guys are fucking. So,
No, I am up for all forms of intimacy. Thing. Well, not all,
All
forms. No.
yeah, really? There are ways to get intimate that I am not for. So
butt stuff
it's
is a
the
little.
official
a little...
policy of OK Seriously that Green Pants is against
butt stuff.
just everything. Just a free for all out there, and Vanguard is anything goes.
Yeah.
Absolutely anything, always. This
Pew, pew, pew.
official policy that's canon now. Okay, cool.
Locking a lot of cans tonight.
Lock. It's print. Yep. Just make sure.
There we go. Yeah, so I would say, that's the stuff to think about, and the shoot, what was I gonna say too? I wonder if he's masturbating in front of her. You know what I mean? Like if the combination works,
Right.
and if so, what does that say?
I just realized that Charlie's from Ohio, and
Yeah,
Ohio
Dayton.
is like, it's like Ohio's awful. Like you know how many serial killers are from Ohio? Like Charles
Most-
Manson is from
Most
Ohio.
are from Ohio. I think
Like
statistically that is true.
Jeffrey Dahmer are from
From
Ohio. It's
Ohio.
insane how many serial killers are from
For sure.
from Ohio. So
I was gonna.
maybe it's Ohio.
I don't know. Maybe
I don't know.
One thing I was gonna propose to
Go
is that,
fuck in another state and see if you're able to come.
Charlie.
And if you can come in Indiana, well, no, because
Go
Mike
to
Pence is in
Indiana.
Indiana. and
Illinois,
he can
go
come
to
when he's in-
Illinois.
Yeah. Go westward, my son.
West.
Yes.
What I was gonna say is there's the option too that might be shoot, I just was gonna say it and I forgot what it was. Psychological. Your masturbation habits, right? So if you are like, if you come to us and if you say you're masturbating 4 times a day, I would then say
yeah.
you have
Right.
potentially an addiction issue, right? And it's taking away from your intimate love life, you know? So objectively approach it that way. Like, do these objective things, Charlie. One is think about the porn you look at when you masturbate and evaluate it and say, you know, is this what I'm really turned on by? Clearly. Is this what my girlfriend provides me? And be honest to yourself about that, right? The second thing is, like, how often are you masturbating? If you're spanking it constantly, and probably, of course, you can't get off with your
Yeah.
girlfriend because you're so mind locked into only your hand can do it. And that's a
Right.
bit of an
Like perhaps
addiction
you
issue.
should just
that,
refrain for a long period of
Right.
time beforehand. You know, that
exactly.
could work. Jake Paul and Logan Paul are from fucking Ohio. Machine Gun
Yeah,
Kelly is from Ohio.
Both Pauls, I know.
That is God, they're like the worst people.
Who are other horrible people from Ohio? Other horrible.
Ben Roethlisberger. That'd be that's a sports ball thing. I don't know.
These are the sports ball guys. True.
Ariel Castro, I think came from.
No shit. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think he was from like either Cincinnati or Cleveland.
Yeah, you're right.
Something
Jake
like
Paul. I'm looking at a quick list. Jake Paul, Logan Paul, Machine Gun Kelly. Yes, Dr. Oz.
Dr. Oz, awesome. Oh, I thought he was from Pennsylvania. I thought
Roger
whatever.
Ailes. Roger Ailes.
Roger Ailes. Oh God, helping destroy democracy. That's he was fun. I'm glad he's dead.
Dahmer. Okay. Oh my God. So horrible.
Um,
Anyway.
Roger Ailes. Yeah.
So Charlie, take these tips. Good luck. Check out what it is, but you're gonna have to be honest with yourself about some of this stuff, man. And it sounds like your
Just
girlfriend's willing to
ask
help,
yourself
which is
all
great.
the questions and don't be afraid to just think of everything. Don't dismiss anything out of hand. Like
Yes.
because answer is there.
Right. It's like, well, I
you know.
only mostly watch trans sex videos. I'm like, that's
Right.
ding ding ding. That's something.
No, that is called a clue,
Right.
and that clue can point you toward the solution.
A solution, yes. All right, so good luck, Charlie.
Good luck to you, Chuck.
I wish you the best, because if anything here, we at OK Seriously want people to be having lots and lots of good, healthy sex. Should be happening
Absolutely.
worldwide.
It's the
All right.
official policy where both
Official.
Green Pants
We
and Vanguard
endorse.
agree. Fucking. Okay. Question 3.
Yes. Okay. Question 3 is from Ophelia from Ann Arbor, Michigan. I actually like Ann Arbor. Ophelia is a 30-year-old female. She's struggling with always being the one to initiate intimacy. Over the past year, I've noticed that I'm always the one initiating sex in my relationship. My boyfriend, 30-year-old male, and I have been together for 6 years, and it's starting to weigh on me. He mentioned that work has been stressful. Try to be understanding and not push. But when I ask if something's wrong or if it has anything to do with me, he says he's just not always in the mood. I believe him, but I can't shake the feeling that there's something more to it. Or maybe it is about me in some way. I don't know what to do. How do I handle it? Ask. Yeah. Good question, Ophelia. Thank you for coming to us.
Your boyfriend isn't from Dayton, Ohio.
I was thinking
Perchance.
that, but I was kind of
Because if so, I think we have an answer for you. But I'm assuming not, because you're in Michigan, and
they've
no
been
one would
together
ever
6 years.
ever leave Michigan to go to Ohio.
Go to Ohio,
so
right.
let's be realistic. That's just not a thing human beings would do.
That's right.
Who've experienced
Normal
Michigan.
people would not do this. That's right.
Right. I mean, yeah.
So boyfriend does
So,
not initiate intimacy.
Yeah. I mean, if you've been together 6 years, hopefully
6 years.
that's long enough that you're able to that you're comfortable enough in your relationship to have an awkward conversation. Because that is, I mean, you're gonna have to talk about it, and there's so many different things. I mean, you just talk about things like likes and dislikes. I mean, you could be like, just stilettos and a ball gag away from the best sex ever.
Yes.
So
Exactly.
maybe it's just about all you're gonna need is safe words. You'll be in your red, yellow, green situation.
Which we discussed before, yes.
But no, I mean, seriously, yeah. The only way to really address that is to communicate with your partner. There's no other way.
I agree. And the communication, of course, is the key to any relationship. But she did say she talked to him about it and says he's fine. He's just not in the mood. So what do you do at that point? You say, well, I'm not getting enough sex for what I like. And
Okay. Yeah, I would say he says he's not getting in the mood. Then have a discussion that maybe approach it tangentially, where find out, kind of discuss your likes and dislikes,
Mhm.
like out of that context, and see if you can, kind of glean some information about, something he might like, or uh, see if, yeah, I mean, there's, some other way that you can, um, I don't know. I'm trying to think. There's not like it's the. I mean, I really hope all that's missing is just that pair of handcuffs or something.
Right.
But
Right.
but yeah, I can't really think. I mean, because if you're with someone for 6 years, he says he's not in the mood. I mean, it could be, is he on antidepressants?
Back to
Could be
that,
the same
yeah.
situation as Charlie. Like,
Right.
it's back to
Increasing
the
his
exact
sex
same
drive.
thing. Like, because your boyfriend might, be Charlie, where he's like, I don't initiate sex because I don't come. That could definitely be a
I would say again,
an issue right there.
being on when you do have sex, are both of you enjoying it? You know what I mean? Like, is he definitely getting
Right.
really into it? Does he come, intensely? Is he making lots of noises? You know what I mean? All that kind of stuff. Or is he just kind of laying there and like, oh, when's it gonna be done? I think it's answer different questions.
Right.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So,
I mean, I don't
your
wanna
recommendation is to gauge his enthusiasm.
Yes, I would get to the.
And
I don't want to assume the worst, because one might typically on the surface say, "Well, he's clearly screwing someone else." Don't want to say that.
wow, I would.
You didn't
Well,
go there.
that would go along with our run away from your relationship immediately.
Yes.
Like just standard default advice. If you think something's wrong, throw everything that you have away and run away. Official policy. Okay, seriously. Well,
Oh my god,
depends.
I would
You're
not
in
say
Utah.
that. I would not
Official
say
policy.
that. I would not say that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, but I feel
I'm
like the,
very comfortable
like,
saying that.
like we're saying, the communication is the key, right? Keep talking about it. Find out like what the intensity is when you actually are doing it. Say like, hey, how about we, like, one thing that might help in several long-term relationships is that okay, Thursday is date night. We're gonna go out, have some dinner, watch a movie, and fuck. I mean, it's just what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
So then the pressure's on
yeah,
neither of you to do it because you've already agreed that you're both gonna do it, right? So it won't feel like
I
it's
would
all
never
on
be
you.
as gauche as Vanguard there, but
Oh,
I would say
please.
I would say
Shit.
put yourself. What you should do is put yourself in situations
Yes.
where intimacy. I'm a big fan of intimacy.
Yes.
Where intimacy can be engaged. So as Vanguard was saying, have a date night on Thursday where you're in a situation where you and your partner are together.
Yes.
You're able to be with each other without distractions and stuff around,
Mm-hmm.
and hopefully engage in some raw intimacy.
Yes.
That'd be
Ball slapping intimacy.
intimacy. Just see if you can
Intimacy.
just if make sure you swallow intimacy.
It's-
Just just saying it's polite.
Oh my goodness. So are there any what ifs here? Like, for example, what if right, like what if he's
There's always
just
what
becoming,
ifs.
I know.
I mean,
I'm saying what if he's
there's so many.
becoming what if he's got low testosterone, right? If it's a physiological
Yeah.
issue. What if he is fooling around? What if he's
Well-
like Charlie, engaging in major masturbation sessions of porn 3 times a day and doesn't have any motivation left for her? You know what I mean? It might have a sex
Right.
addiction, and so
And there is a possibility it could be none of these things, and
correct.
your boyfriend just doesn't have a sexuality like level that is your the desire for sex isn't at the right, doesn't match each other's eagerness, you know
Not
what I
a
mean?
problem,
So
by the way.
if he's oh yeah, absolutely, where one partner wants it and another partner doesn't, and it's like yeah, definitely creates problems. So
Yep.
yeah, have that awkward conversation. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, have that conversation with him. Hopefully you can come to some conclusion. Make it clear
Yeah, I
that
mean,
this
6
is
years. Yeah.
6 years you've been in it long enough, right? Make it clear it's distressing you. I think you need to raise that. It's fair to raise that flag at
Right.
this point, right? You say, look,
Yeah.
this is bugging me that I'm always initiating. This is bugging me. I don't feel wanted by you. You know what I mean? It's like,
Right.
what can we do
Yeah.
together?
Just
to...
like say something like, just be like, listen, you are not inside me nearly enough,
right.
and it's fucking pissing me off. Are you a man? Are you a real man? Why aren't you inside
No,
me?
no.
So that's what Vanguard would do.
You a man? No,
I-
that's not
I-
true.
I would not. I would be
That's
very
intimacy.
intimacy is my thing, not the raw dog Okay,
Yeah.
that's
Like being a
Vanguard
man thing, you know.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
All right, Ophelia. Well, good luck. Hopefully that's enough to go on. But raise those concerns and do it in a very genuine way, supportive way, because maybe he's feeling insecure about something. Who knows, right? Hopefully with the conversation you get to the bottom of that and find the best path forward. And once again, having happy, healthy sex and plenty of it. That is
Absolutely. And
the
I
goal.
also would just like to say that if you do look at Vanguard's shirt, he is wearing a Spartan powered by,
That's true.
shirt because he is a man, a real man. Whereas I am Knuff, so I'm fine. Intimacy,
I
it's my thing.
didn't think that when I put the shirt on this morning, but okay,
Nope.
here we go. All right, next question comes from Patrick from Douglas, Arizona. Patrick is a
Okay.
35-year-old male. He has a friend who is 36-year-old male who, for some reason, does not use toilet paper. Instead, he uses a dish sponge to clean his ass with and then cleans the dish sponge in the sink. What he does to himself is his own business, but the thing is that he doesn't have any toilet paper for his guests as well, so you either have to hip wiping,
Right.
use your hands, or use the same sponge that he uses and that other people may have used. It's a bit weird and unusual, but he has a lot of odd habits.
A bit.
What's a good way to tell him that it's not normal to do it this way, and then he should have some toilet paper at least for his guests? Wow.
Is your friend a Roman circa 5 AD? Like that's literally like I know they say that guys think about the Romans all the
Roman
time,
Empire,
or whatever,
but there it
but
is.
like that. Okay, when thinking about the Roman Empire,
Which we
how
do.
the Romans actually wiped their asses, where they had a thing called a tensorium,
Yes.
which was a sea sponge.
That's right.
That was on the end of a stick.
That's right.
And they basically did that, and then they would put it in a thing of brine that
Right.
was supposed to like
Clean off.
sort of kill bacteria, but it didn't.
It
and,
did. And then
they
sepsis.
died of cholera.
Right.
you know.
And dysentery and sepsis and all kinds of horrible things.
What you should say is tell your friend, you're fucking disgusting. I'm never at your house again. Please don't call me. Forget my number. Or
so-
perhaps he's a Roman. I don't know.
my first response is like, I don't know. And you know I'm weird about this kind of thing, but like, I never, like, I could probably count on, maybe not one hand, but like over my entire life where I've had to relieve myself this way at a friend's house. Like, I make a
absolutely.
point not to, like, don't shit in someone else's house. You know what I mean? Like, I can't even convey that enough.
This is not a situation that I have ever been in my
Right.
entire
Right.
life.
I mean, I may have had a few
uh,
emergency situations. That's the only reason I bring that exception up, right? But for the most part,
when my
you don't shit in someone else's house.
when my body packed up for summer camp, it
Yeah.
packed up everything,
Right.
and then nothing was deposited it back until it was back home
Right.
a week
and,
later.
And dear
know?
God, the plumbing that suffered after that moment was like
Because if
You
you are
probably
a
lost
super
12
nervous
pounds.
kid, yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of eating going on.
oh my God.
Not a big fan of camp.
Yeah.
Kids in those movies were always having so much fun with the girls across the lake, but
Never us. Nope. Never.
that was not a green pants thing.
Not,
That was not
your thing.
not my
your
jam. So yeah,
It's-
to tell your friend,
It's fair to bring it up and say, dude, you should, I know you do your thing and that's great, but you should have some toilet paper. I'm not using your shit
Right.
sponge. It's like,
right, or even
That's
that.
your
but
ass
I would say even
sponge.
aside from it, I would say first of all, yeah, don't shit in your friend's house because
right.
why?
That's disgusting.
Unless,
right.
unless, well, I mean, it's more of like if you can avoid it, do.
Right.
But if not, you could also just say, "Hey, I noticed you don't have any toilet paper. If you expected me to wipe my ass with that sponge, I got to tell you about some things that have changed since the Romans."
Right.
And then educate him on the last 2,000 years.
Excuse me.
And you will
Right.
make your way to toilet paper.
And our advances in relieving
Or
oneself.
just, I mean, he can grab leaves. I mean, something. You got. I mean,
I mean, I guess bring your own. I bring wipes.
Bring your own toilet paper.
Flushable
Come on.
wipes. The flushable wipes you can get in the flat packet, so you can carry them with you in your car or whatever.
Oh.
You know what I mean? That's why I recommended that.
But those flushable wipes are bad on like they're like completely bad for septic and stuff. So they're okay for like a sewer because they will eventually compose.
The ones
but
I
you're not-
use say septic safe.
It's like septic safe as long as you get your septic pumped often.
I see. Fair.
Just saying. Listen to
But
someone who knows.
as we've discussed, and I am an ass master as well, because as I've discussed, I use the bidet, the ultimate solution,
That is true.
and that's why I wait
Try
till I'm
not to-
home.
Right. The
It'll
ultimate
change your
solution
life,
is-
by the way. Change your life.
I agree that it
Any
would
time.
probably change my life.
Oh my god, never felt so clean.
But
Amazing.
one day, maybe, but
I'll get one for you
not
for
happening
Christmas.
not happening in my home. It would Mrs. Greenpants
Not a
would
fan.
put it back in a box, and she'd have it shipped to your desk at work. And-
with a picture of her holding up her middle finger.
Yeah,
Saying,
exactly.
Fuck you. you son of a-"
It would become a skibbity toilet
Yes.
with just your face going up and down.
Oh my god. I love Mrs. Greenpants.
Yeah.
Because I know that's what you would do. I
that
can,
that
I
would
can
be what would
envision that happening. Yes.
So,
Fantastic.
recommendation
Yes.
is to not. So,
I understand.
putting that out there.
I understand. So so it's
So yeah,
fair,
your friend's pretty gross.
it's fair to recommend to your friend, right, to hey dude, buy some toilet paper. In a pinch, if you're there and you're stuck, grab a handful of tissues before you walk into the bathroom. If there's not tissues in the bathroom, backup option.
You know what that guy probably doesn't have?
Tissues.
Because
Because
there's
he's got a
no
nose
way a guy that has
sponge.
toilet paper
Got a sponge
has,
for his
yeah,
nose.
no, he's got a disease kerchief. He's basically got like like a one of those plague hankies.
Plague
It's
hanky.
just-
Yeah, no, plague hanky.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm familiar. Very popular in Japan, actually, the plague hanky.
Yeah, that's also wearing masks. So it's
Super,
it is,
super,
I guess it all depends.
Super J reminds everyone not to flush anything besides toilet papers.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
So,
what I-
so
that's
Patrick,
what
yeah,
it
your friend's weird. So tell him, hey, toilet paper for guests, not an unusual request. Bring a roll for him. Say, dude, I'm sticking this in your bathroom. Leave it here.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you can go to the fucking 7-Eleven or the
Right.
go to, when next time
A
you get
dollar.
gas, you can
It's
get
like a dollar
toilet
for a
paper.
roll.
But grab one from work and just like
Right.
put it under there as like
Like,
an
here's what we're
emergency
doing.
thing for some unknown guest. So for some future guest that is there, your friend probably won't even if he's got a sponge there, he's probably not gonna like even notice. So
I'm telling you,
Um,
he may think he cleans that sponge, but that sponge is not clean.
if your friend uses a sponge, I don't think he really. I think he thinks he's a Roman, and I think your friend has a problem, and your friend should probably talk to someone about that.
He's gonna get cholera.
And he will probably get it's sepsis or at least some form of worms. That's a 5 out of 6 chance.
Oh my lord.
So
All right, there we
stay
go.
away from the worms.
They were the worms. Don't anal worms. Not good. All right, last
The
question
worms. Yeah,
comes from Philip from Waycross,
anal
Georgia.
worms. Wow, that's
Anal
you
worms.
escalated things
That's
quickly.
right, I did. I went right there. Philip from
Wow.
Waycross, Georgia. Philip says, my girlfriend showed nude pictures of me to her friend without my consent, and I don't know what to do about it. Doesn't understand how I can be mad and says it's a compliment, but it still makes me feel extremely exposed and hurt. I just can't bring myself to trust her anymore. She and my guy friends all say I'm being ridiculous and should just let it go. Am I overreacting? Philip leaves out one key question: if this friend of hers is a girl or a guy, because unfortunately it does help the answer. I'm gonna assume girl.
I guess I'm just, okay. I would say this. I don't think you're overreacting at all. Simply because for your girl and your guy I assume it because your girl and your guy friends are saying hey, it's no big deal.
Right.
But I'm just trying to picture this roles reversed. Think of what the advice would be.
It's completely different because we live in a sexist society. Completely different answer.
Right, but okay, so you acknowledge that it's completely so.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's right.
So-
I'm saying it's a completely different answer.
Well, I'm saying
right.
it's not right in either. It's not right in either situation. So it would not be right in that
No,
situation,
I'm
and it's
saying-
also not right in this situation,
I'm
even
s-
though he has a
I
penis.
know. I'm saying in the fact that it's two different answers depending on the gender is not right, but yet that is how it is.
Right. I mean, if the pictures were taken with the understanding that they were to be a private thing, then a trust was broken, and
Sure.
then she's the asshole here. Like absolutely. Like,
Right.
and maybe that involves seeing your asshole. That sucks. But again, like if the conditions were reversed, I mean, you're entitled to have your feelings hurt because what she did left you exposed and hurt because what she did was expose you and was kind of hurtful.
Yeah.
So I can absolutely understand, where you're coming from.
Sure. I mean, I'm the other view
or-
on this. I don't care.
Obviously, please ask her to send nudes of herself to us,
And then
so we can look.
even Steven.
And fair is fair, and that is how it works in this society where everything is egalitarian and things always work out fairly.
I need a zero-sum game. That's what we're
Yeah.
looking for.
I'm
Absolutely.
just looking for common fairness, and common fairness would be she sends nude pictures of herself to us.
To us. Specifically to us. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, obviously. Was I stuttering?
You were.
Sorry.
I dated actually, I think I've dated two girls. One girl, one girlfriend from many, many years ago showed pictures of me to her friend. Didn't bother me. Another girl I dated later on showed nude pictures of me to her mother. Right. Which I thought was
My question
odd.
is, why are you taking so many nude pictures of yourself? Like,
you
why
know,
is...
it's what's done. I mean,
It was a different time.
It's a different time.
It was a different time.
Last year. No, I'm kidding.
It was the 70s, and,
not the 70s.
It was
Free
summer
love.
of '79.
Woo.
Doing Roller Girl.
It was at Roller
Get
Girls,
out
right?
at
No, it was
Burt
not that.
Reynolds' mansion.
Yeah. No, it was one of those things where she sent a picture of something about her. I'm like, okay, boom, here's the dick pic, boom. You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
I do appreciate that you're like just boom, here's it, because like
Yeah.
for me it would be what?
She sent me a picture of her.
Because
She sent me a picture of her boobs, and I'm like,
someone
great.
said
So I'm like, here, boom.
take a pic. Oh, okay. And if someone said take a picture of your penis, I would say no.
Done. No, I'm done. I already did it. I did it when you just said that.
Right.
You notice?
Stop taking pictures of
Okay, it's already done.
Okay,
Actually, I'm sending it to you right now. Watch, here it comes.
that is pathological. Okay, that is
Hold
you
on.
should see something about that.
There, check your
That
phone.
is,
Check your phone. You got it.
No, I don't want to check my phone. Oh my god, my phone is beeping.
I told you.
Oh my god.
That's. Sorry.
All right, Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. So
now you send one of you.
No,
Oh wait.
unsolicited dick pic. No. That's the thing is, I'm ending that transaction.
Right.
That's
You-
it.
you
That's
broke
it.
the
you know?
loop.
Yeah. I always break the loop.
Yeah.
That's, I mean.
Yeah.
So.
There's an old adage, right, that if a woman asks for a picture, if a woman asks to see your penis, you just do it. Don't think about it. Ask questions later. If she wants to see it, go.
Is that an old adage, or is that something that you believe? Is that just something that sounds really good to you?
An old adage.
Old adage.
Passed for many,
Old-
many
old-
wise,
Old times.
many wise
you know?
people have passed this
If-
down
if-
over the
If
years.
she makes a reference to your
Yeah.
dick, it means
If she
fuck
says,
right away.
if
and
she
just,
says,
you
take
know.
off your clothes, you just do it. It's just like one of those things that you do. I don't know.
Or
That's
if
how I was
you-
raised.
Because, okay, I was raised to be. Yet everyone has agency, and so
Sure.
you do what you want to do.
I
Because
guess.
I believe in intimacy, the ability to be safe, and not feel like some sort of whore. Where the second my partner expresses any desire whatsoever, I am expected to strip entirely
Perform,
and
yes.
just become an object of meat.
Yes.
Nay, I say.
I
Nay.
say yay. I say what you're describing.
No,
sounds
no,
awesome.
absolutely not. No,
Sure. So
I guess
if
it depends
Mrs.
on the mood.
if
What
Mrs. Game Pants came to you and said, "Hey, I was telling my friend that you got a huge penis, and I want to show her. You cool with that?" I think you'd be like, "Sure thing, honey. Here it is."
Then she could go to my website and become an OnlyFans
Oh, there you go.
like everybody else, and I mean that would be basically that would be directly hurting our personal finances.
Understood.
So like we would not.
And how do
ever
you
do
even
that.
report that in your taxes if you're already given?
Yeah, I mean that opens up all sorts of doors. So no, obviously we don't give out free product, and even with your weird scenario.
Oh, product. That's
Yeah.
right. So okay.
Yeah.
Sum up. Fill up. Technically, what she did
Penis
is wrong.
is valuable. Don't give it away for free. That's all I'm saying.
Technically, what she did
Vanguard's
is
giving his
wrong.
penis away. It's all out there. You know
Right.
what? Mine's behind a paywall.
There you go. Technically, what she did was wrong. However, there is a dualism duality in society based on gender,
Yes.
right?
That is true.
Typically, if your girlfriend feels that you're that freaking hot that she wants to show her friends, to me that would be like rock on. That's awesome, right? None
Oh,
of
I
them would feel that
absolutely
way?
agree that a lot of people would feel that way. I
Right.
might also feel that way. It was what I'm thinking is though he is saying, is it okay for me to not feel that way? Is it okay for me
No,
to feel
and you
hurt?
feel the
And it
way you feel.
absolutely is.
Absolutely.
Because what happened is you felt exposed and hurt. Like whether or
Absolutely.
not it was societally like appropriate or which way that you should be able to get over it because you're male or what
Right.
that's all
Right. That's society all made up
culture
bullshit, right?
bullshit. That's
Right.
all like
I mean, it's the reality, but society made up bullshit.
sure, but as
That's the world we
everything
live
is.
in.
But as far
Pretty
as
much.
if your feelings being hurt, that is a real thing, and
Yeah. Legit.
it should be addressed and it shouldn't be dismissed out of hand because
right.
you're being silly.
That's
Because whatever you're feeling is your feelings aren't silly. They
That's
are
right.
what they are,
That's
and figure them out.
And so, putting our silliness aside and getting back to the seriousness of it, right, is that you need to have a conversation with her, and you have to say, look, I know you thought it wasn't fun, and I know you thought it was awesome, but, every time I think about it, it kind of bugs me. Makes me feel exposed. Maybe admit a little vulnerability, say, hey, like, I just feel
Right.
insecure about my body, and I'm just not comfortable, whatever, right? And
Maybe you could go to OK Seriously and you can send some pictures of yourself
Yes.
to those guys, and they
Those
could
two-
judge them, and
those
they could
two
talk about them.
doofuses on,
And-
on the internet.
Yeah. You wouldn't have to say that. You would say to the two doctors of
of life.
life, the internet,
Yes.
advice.
Yes.
Just send us the pictures. I
Just
don't
send-
understand. I don't want.
Why
I
don't
have
we
to
have them?
sugarcoat it? Why don't we have them? I mean,
Why do we
it's like
not
I've got
have
all I have is a big picture of Vanguard's cock. Damn it.
It's true.
Cock.
And
Like I don't have enough.
right. The weekly
Lord.
update.
Yeah, it's like it's the same size. Like, no, it's not. I don't care what you took or what you got from Alex Jones.
That's right.
It's not. It's the same. Sorry.
Infowars.com.
Supplements.
Supplements. Patriotism.
Wanna get rock hard?
Wanna get rock
Yeah.
hard? Come to Infowars.com.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You can
not that. Never
like
go.
a patriot.
Never go there or give them any money. Anyway, what was I gonna say?
should all go
But-
to the victims of Sandy Hook.
Exactly, but but tell her that hey, I'm not being like weird or facetious about this. It legit bothered me. I understand that what's done is done. I'm not gonna get all bent out of shape about it, but I just want you to know. I just appreciate it if you don't do that in the future. I talk. Have a serious conversation about it. Put yourself out there.
Right.
Feel vulnerable.
Have the conversation. Send the pictures to us. Whatever works.
There
You know?
go.
Just try to. If I had to rank the best like kind of options for you, the first is obviously get her to take some pictures and send them to us, and then after that happens, then have that conversation and tell her that it bothered you. But just do the whole picture thing first, because like right now, I wouldn't even bring up the fact that it bothered you. You could be like, "Hey, I thought that was really awesome."
That might
And that
deter
way you
her
can get
from
pictures
wanting
first.
to get the
And then-
pictures.
Right,
got it first.
exactly.
Yeah.
So you don't want to give the game away. So you want to get your nudes.
Hold the cards close
send
to
it
the
first.
chest,
That's-
and then
Exactly. Right, because you're in a relationship here, and trust is important.
Right.
So
So
Wait.
anyway, so
Damn it.
Philip, are you overreacting?
Okay.
No. Is it worth getting all pissed about right now? What's done is done, right? But have a serious conversation about it and just make sure she understands how you felt, that your failings are legitimate, and please don't do that in the future without having a better discussion about it.
And is it?
That's
And
the
I would
summary.
say, is it worth it? Only you can answer that. Yeah, I mean that's whatever that means. If you're able to get over it and we can move on, great. If you
Right.
can't, that's also not
Right.
unacceptable.
I would
you're
say-
perfectly reasonable to
Right.
be unhappy.
I would say though, like he's like questioning being able to trust her, and I would say like in this circumstance, I wouldn't be like she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna humiliate my boyfriend because I secretly resent him." It's not gonna be like any. I don't think it's bullshit like that. Like in her mind, it legitimately wasn't a big deal because she's like, my boyfriend's a guy. She's not gonna mind that I show my hot girlfriend his dick pic.
Right.
Right. So I'm just gonna do it. You know what I mean? It was like there was no. I don't believe there was a nefariousness to it. I guess is what I'm saying, right? I think
Yeah,
that,
I mean,
like,
hey, it sounds. I want.
So-
Hey, I want these kids to stay together for the
Right.
first time.
we
I'm
actually
hoping
want
for
to save a
relationship.
relationship.
These crazy kids, I want them to be in love and be having lots of sex. So
Frequent intimacy. Thank you
know,
very much.
right.
Intimacy, shared intimacy.
but it is speed round time,
It's speedrun.
and I think we have been
Speedrun is up
pontificating
about Philip
much
and his dick pics.
on this.
Is it?
Now it
it's
is
your
you are
turn.
up today.
It's your turn.
No, it is your turn. It is my turn to
Oh,
ask
seriously?
you questions because
Alright.
I went last week, and so I have prepared questions for you. They are there are 5 of them.
Okay.
You will have 60 seconds to answer them, and
Alright.
someone will put a timer up on the board and set it.
Or
That will be
the timer's up.
a
Ready to go.
see, I can't see anything because again,
No,
I'm
I
just
know, and you're relying
just
on
a-
your
a
passenger
part.
on this journey here.
yeah,
I get that.
exactly. You know, but
Ugh.
so I would ask Vanguard, are you ready?
I am ready.
Or,
I
do
believe
you
I'm
need
ready.
Some time to.
I
Okay.
mean, this
Wanna-
was a surprise.
breathe with
I
me?
literally thought it was you. All right, I'm ready. Hit me.
Feel better?
I do.
Okay. Who is the best solo singing artist of all time?
Oh, George Michael.
There have been 6 Terminator movies.
Yeah.
How many can you name?
Okay, The Terminator, Terminator 2: Judgment Day, Terminator 3: Rise of the Machines, Terminator Salvation, Terminator Genesis, and Terminator Dark Fate. I believe that's in chronological
Wow.
order as well.
That is excellent. That is that was not in quite in chronological order, but that was excellent. Should billionaires exist?
Maybe.
Okay. What was the best first-person shooter ever made?
Ooh, Half-Life 2. Half-Life 2.
If presented with a fully loaded, perfect garden salad, what would you be willing to eat?
All right, so celery, lettuce, iceberg lettuce,
Celery.
so
nothing.
shredded cheese, hard-boiled egg.
Okay, so you want an egg and cheese.
Kinda.
Okay.
With
So
some-
and then roughage. Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
right.
I've now expanded my salad, by the way. So yeah, time's up. So
Yep.
to
That's good.
I'll add green peppers. I do now in my salad. Green, orange, or yellow, green, yellow, and red pepper. I will have in my salad.
A variety of peppers. If
That's a
you will.
big step
Wow.
for me. Well,
Okay.
once I
Yeah,
had the
that's a
first
huge
pepper,
step, you know.
I determined I'm like, you know what? If I did one pepper, I could do the other colors of pepper. So I
Yep.
pushed myself to that. That was a 2020 milestone.
Is that a reach goal?
Yeah,
Of,
it was a reach goal.
you
So
know,
I'll only, as we all know, I'll only do one new food a year. So that was the one.
Is it only one? Is it one per
that year.
year?
Yeah,
Why limit yourself like that? I think you should.
because I don't like
I think part of your.
change or food or strange things.
You don't like
accept-
change your food.
I don't like
Um,
change or
Is
food.
that? Yeah, you sound old and white. Is that?
I am white,
Is
but
that
I
what
am
you
not
might be?
old. I've been like this since
I don't know.
I've been like this since I was like.
I don't like change. I just
Dude.
wanted, I eat my can of beans. I open it up.
Get off my lawn.
That's what I have. Like, all right, I'll just pull my sardines out of the can.
Good.
Right.
That was great.
So okay, best solo artist of all time.
I mean,
Uh,
you might consider like Freddie Mercury technically had a brief solo career, right?
yes.
I didn't count that because his main thing was Queen. You know what I mean? Like if we would have
Right.
considered that, it would have been Freddie Mercury. So I'll just clarify that
Right,
now.
because my answer would have been like Freddie Mercury had perfect pitch
Yes,
and could sing in 4 octaves
and a 4-octave range.
So
It's like how do you?
4-octave range. So
Oh my God,
it was
unbelievable!
The dynamic ability of his range was just
Oh, unbelievable!
insane.
Unbelievable.
So so because of that, I would say him and that's who I
Absolutely.
would go see.
The only
But,
the only exception was I didn't consider him a solo artist. You know what I mean?
Right.
I definitely
Right.
agree he's probably the best male vocalist to ever perform.
But-
Right?
But then you have like Whitney Houston, Aretha Franklin, Mariah Carey, who also all 3
Sure.
had perfect pitch
Sure.
and had
Yeah, Whitney Houston. That's true.
um,
I was
similar.
thinking.
No, not 4-octave range,
Ah.
but Whitney Houston
You're
might
right.
have had a 4-octave.
You know what?
Yeah.
I gotta jump in. I gotta say, when I heard the question, I thought you said male vocalist. That's why I
Oh,
limited
no.
to that. I probably
said
would have
it's solo.
said Whitney Houston, honestly. But over Freddie Mercury, that's so tough. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think Freddie first, then Whitney.
And it's a subjective thing. I mean, honestly, like I mean, if I had to say like what concerts I could go to, it's
Yeah.
obviously going to be like Britney Spears pre-conservatorship.
Clearly.
That clearly.
I remember your
like,
Britney
she
Spears
was like, I don't
phase.
know.
That was a little.
Yeah, when she was like 16.
Sure.
When things were pigs were innocent and schoolgirlish. Um, you know,
Oops,
back when,
I did it
yeah,
again.
exactly. That's, I mean, yeah, I would go and see that over and over and over
yeah.
until they just finally kicked me out of the malls. Um, but anyway, uh, the
Oh.
you were very good on the Terminator movies.
Thank you.
Yeah, that
those
is
were
correct.
those
Terminator,
were in the release in the order they were released,
So,
not chronological order in the movie.
the order. Right. The order they were released is because starting in '84
Yes.
was Terminator,
Terminator.
and then Terminator 2
Two.
Judgment Day in 1991.
Yep.
Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines, which is
That's right.
2003.
Yes.
And then Terminator Genesis came after that.
I believe
and then
Salvation
Terminator
came
Salvation,
out before Genesis.
No, definitely Genesis was the first, like after Rise of the Machines, and they had like, was that Christiana Loken?
Yep.
Uh,
Was.
and after that they sort of like tried to reboot the franchise,
Yes.
and that's, I think, so Genesis is the one that had Christian Bale,
Yes.
and then they were kind of like redoing, and then they did Terminator Salvation after that, and then basically went back to the original story and did
Oh, you might be
Dark
right.
Fate.
You might be right.
Because like Genesis was basically like sending it was a separate story where they were it was still John Connor, but they were sending
I
him
know.
back before the other. It was just in a completely separate.
No, dude. I'm pretty sure Genesis came after Salvation.
Okay, then if they're
You maybe did you cross the plots?
yeah maybe there's
I think you're right on the plots,
anyway,
but I think the names
then
are
yeah,
right.
and then
Anyway.
Dark Fate was the last one in 2019.
I know,
Yeah.
and I wanted the Dark Fate
and then
to be good,
I would also
but
have
it was
accepted
like,
Sarah Connor Chronicles.
that's in
which was on
between
television.
Rise of the Machine and Salvation, right? I think Dark Colin Chronicles.
Something like that, or it was after. I mean, it was before Dark Fate and.
Clearly before Dark Fate.
Yeah,
right?
somewhere. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
And you know what
there's
we're talking about there?
Terminator Zero, which is anime, which is out
yes,
now.
which is
or is
animated.
new
That's
now.
true. But you know what this leads us back to? Summer Glau.
What?
Summer Glau.
Oh, Summer Glau. Yeah, obviously. Yep.
So good. So good.
Also played a Terminator.
So good.
Because Summer Glau, as Vanguard can tell you, can bend unbelievably. Her her range is dynamic.
What a gift
when it
of a
comes
woman.
to
Gift of a
bendability.
woman.
Do not get Vanguard started
Oh
on
my God,
Summer Glau.
Oh,
For the love of God, please. 'Cause
Lordy.
after you leave, I'm still here.
yeah. I'm
So,
gonna
it's
talk to
not-
him all about it. It's gonna be
Ugh,
fantastic.
Man, why? Okay, should billionaires exist? I just
bum,
say
bum.
no.
So I said maybe,
'Cause I'm like,
and here's why I said maybe, because it's all. I think billionaires should be paying their fair share, and if that fair share
Right.
still results in them being a billionaire, so be it. You know what I mean?
Right. Like, well, yeah. My feeling
That
is
fair
it's
share
like,
being substantial.
like because if there are billionaires, then your currency system is fucked up. Your currency and taxation system for your country is fucked up. That's why like Bitcoin and that other stuff is like with crypto. It's like having a fiat currency that's backed by a government.
Yes.
And as we're quickly realizing, like becoming a billionaire on paper does not require any special skills or talent. Like
No.
you just need to be the deranged, mildly autistic, evil son of a bigoted South African emerald miner.
For example.
Perhaps if you had that
For
very
example.
specific background, you could be a billionaire.
Good.
But honestly, like when you look back, a lot of billionaires, it's a combination of luck, ruthlessness, and lack of regulation. 'Cause it's like that's how like the
Sure.
robber barons and stuff happened. It was like there were no rules, so it enabled like one person to be like, "Yep, I'm just gonna buy all the shit," and there's no rule, and so it was like, "Holy shit, whoa!"
Yeah, but
We're letting all of the power get consolidated too much, and then
I
that's
guess-
why you have elections getting
I
involved
guess, but
and
so
things like that.
So, but what do you propose? It's not like the line, like 999 million is like the line. Is that what you're saying?
I would
know
say
what I mean?
developing, if you're a citizen of a country, as far as
Sure.
the like taxation system, then as far as your income, like okay, how about it just goes back to what it was in 1959? I think the highest tax rate was like 78%,
Yeah, it was huge.
79%, something like that.
And the rich
Yeah.
people still were pretty damn rich.
Yeah. I mean, that's what Rockefeller paid. That was the whole thing
Sure.
of New Deal, was like, you got to pay and then we just slowly went away
Oh,
until
of course,
it became
because
they pay less.
because the oligarchs hated
It-
the New Deal, right? They hated the New Deal.
Right. Well, the thing is, there wasn't all. Yeah, they didn't like it, but the New Deal was very successful, and it wasn't until all of the deregulation in the 70s and 80s, and when Reagan fired all the air traffic controllers and said that anybody that's on welfare is just a person with 8 kids watching TV all day and sit around doing nothing.
Yeah.
Then we lost all the regulation and basically put in a situation where you can just make boatloads of money and just park it places where it doesn't do anything for the economy. That's why it kind of fucks up the currency system too. It's like you're taking in money and then you're just parking it offshore and doing nothing with it, and it's not being taxed, or it's not.
I don't
it's not,
dispute that. I guess I'm just wondering what's the difference between $1 billion and 900 million. You know what I mean?
I guess
along with that
it's
definition.
Okay, I would say, I guess the question is, should there be billionaires is too vague. It should be like,
Okay.
should there be people who can buy countries?
Right.
You know what
No.
I mean? Like in
That'll
terms
go
of,
no.
you know what I mean?
Right.
It's like you should have a taxation system in place or whatnot, that for, that people aren't just able to,
Accumulate
take
wealth for the sake of
$200 billion.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
For the sake of
just,
wealth.
like, set money on fire,
Yes.
because it really messes up with the entire
I agree.
idea of that. We live in a society.
Yes.
Okay, I don't
we
know
do.
if you know,
It's-
but
no,
okay.
I've noticed. Yeah.
We used to live in a society,
Yes.
I think.
And we used to.
Kind
Right.
of.
Last year we lived in a society.
We were
right?
always terrible. We used to be quieter about it,
Right.
and now we're just
openly
open
terrible.
and terrible, and it's like it's so not cool. I
Too
wish
funny.
people would really stop doing that.
Yeah, I know, but I would. Yeah, it's. But the thing is, like, if you're thinking that there should be nobody with this much money over a certain amount, it becomes.
It's more of a
introduces-
philosophy.
It is. No, definitely philosophically speaking, absolutely. But
That's
I'm just thinking of the practical
I will say
implementation. You know what I
philosophical
mean?
speaking.
Like
Right.
once you
Okay,
hit. Like once you hit 50 million and $1, you start losing all that money automatically. You know what I mean? So there's never going to
No,
be more than 50
but
million there.
it's-
You know, that kind of thing. That has
Yeah.
like logistics struggles that like
They
how
should
would
have
we even
said-
do that? But
As a philosophy,
Right.
should billionaires exist?
no, because the disparity between the absolute richest and the absolute poor should never be that big, right?
Right.
It should be like 200 times greater, not 2,000 times greater. You know?
Well, and that's what it
Like,
was like in the 1950s, where like
Right.
a CEO was like 60 times the lowest
Right.
worker.
That was reasonable.
Now it's like 60,000 times.
Right.
It's like
Right. It's
you
just so
know,
stupid. Exactly.
It's just absurd levels of.
And
you
I
know.
love those guys too. When this came up with the banking crash in 2008, I don't know if you remember, right? And where they had the helicopters.
Do I remember the banking crash?
Yeah.
Uh,
Where the helicopters
Okay,
they
so
had.
you said you love those guys. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
no, I
okay,
hate them.
first let's
No,
pause.
no.
Okay, seriously.
Oh, stop!
The
You know.
Vanguard loves
No,
the oligarchs
you know
that
how
caused
I
the
am
financial
about
crash
this.
of 2007 and 2008.
I'm saying, remember the crash?
Green pants.
And they had
Intimacy.
They had literally helicopters flying over these guys' houses to see their compounds and where they lived. You know what I mean? As people were suffering and all that. And it was they talked about this kind of thing then, right? And they would bring experts on. They say, you know, we understand all this talk. You know, I understand people are frustrated, but you can't limit salaries like this because then we can't attract the top talent. Like they'll go elsewhere.
Right.
What elsewhere are you referring to? There's
Right.
literally nowhere else for them to go. No other country will pay them that much. So it's
Right.
here.
Exactly. It's
There's,
just because
there's one JP Morgan bank, there's one Bank of America, there's you know what I mean? So what are you competing against?
Right.
It's like
Yeah, it is
it's a very
relatively
limited. It's a
absurd
limited
argument.
solution set. You know what I mean? That just I'll never forget that interview with that guy saying that. He's like, "Well, we need to attract the top talent," and I'm like, "Yes, however." It's like,
Well, I mean, Peter Thiel went on Joe Rogan and talked about, how billionaires are constantly debanked
I
for their
know,
political
yeah.
beliefs.
yeah,
And how it's really hard to be a billionaire, and everyone's getting
Who fucking knew?
debanked. What the hell are you talking? The only people that are debanked are poor people when
Correct.
it costs money to save money.
Correct.
That's called being debanked.
Correct.
When you have no mechanism in which order to actually hold your money and in a safe space without being completely gouged by
Right.
a loan shark or a payday lender or some
Exactly.
bullshit.
And with that, again, it's philosophically, yes, I completely agree, right? But the thing is like you I don't know. Now I'm trying to design a new economic system, right? But like you need to incentivize success and growth, right? To an extent. To an extent, that's the key trick, right? And how you do that is important in the economic system. And then rich people they're not the job creators that they're portrayed as by certain political parties, right? But rich people do pay other people to do shit for them because they're too lazy to do it, and that's part of our economy. You know what I mean? So it's like,
So
that's the thing
and I
you
would
can't
say it would be a
discount,
better if you were a billionaire and you
Yeah.
just kept buying boats. At
Right.
least you would be putting.
least you're buying
you're just
boats.
like, you know what? I have
100%.
78 yachts.
100%.
Great. You know what?
Great.
That yacht company. There's a lot
Right.
of people that work for that
And
company that
you're
are like,
crewing
"Woohoo!"
you're crewing those yachts,
Yeah.
and they're people
Yeah.
getting paid to do shit.
You're-
Rock on. I wonder if
Absolutely.
I wonder
That
if the
is
solution's
money
like
into the economy.
That's right. I wonder if it's like if at past a certain income rate. Ooh, I think I got something here. Past a certain income rate, you can.
Have you developed a new economic system?
I kind of have.
I assume
so
you have.
so you have a base tax rate that's like super high, and it's not just your income, but it's capital gains as well. It's like 90-some%. It's like some obscenely high thing. You can do deductions based on investment that you make. So if you put investments in certain things, you can deduct those investments that produce value. You know what I mean? So you can basically incentivize.
But how does that work for someone who isn't someone that you would have a base rate of 93%? What if you don't make, or is that your
No,
highest
the
rate?
top air cut. That's the top
93,
rate. That's the top
and then-
rate.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So
You
that's
know
not
what
your
I mean?
base rate.
No,
That's
no.
your highest
No, but I'm
rate.
saying you're right. Your top bracket, tax bracket, super high, right?
Gotcha.
But you can
Yeah,
deduct
sort of how
you
it
can
was.
deduct investment expenses. And so basically like, oh, I started a charity, blah 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 blah. Great, write all that off. Fantastic. Thank you. Well done. You know what I mean? It's like
Right.
all those things incentivize the thing that you're talking about, which is
you
like
can do now.
don't use
which
money-
people do anyway.
don't use money just to make more money.
Right.
It's
Well,
like-
I mean,
that provides no
but-
value.
and to basically park it somewhere.
Right.
But
Mass accumulation of wealth.
best
That's the
best.
problem.
I know we're getting short on time.
Oh, we
so
are.
I just
I'm
want to
sorry.
make
We got to
sure
move on, and
clearly
we can
get-
go on about economic theory for ages.
Right.
so
I mean,
know
that's
we
just
can-
it. Literally, I'm just trying to say, Vanguard here is trying to develop an economic theory
I am. I'm
on
trying-
the fly.
I'm trying to design
Okay,
the system off
Which,
the top.
I don't know.
of
I
my
mean,
head.
you guys, he's under a lot of pressure sometimes, and he puts a lot of this pressure on himself, and it's not necessary.
That's right.
So if everyone could just relax and
all on my shoulders. Everyone needs to vote.
Yeah.
yeah.
just
Yeah.
relax, Atlas. Like,
Best. What was
know.
one you had? First person shooter. I said Half-Life 2.
So
It was excellent.
okay, the best one I think I've ever seen is
Yes.
Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
It's a great
Because
game.
that's like one of the. It's just. I'm like, because I
Very
I
immersive.
am not.
Very immersive.
I am not. I've seen other people play it, and I'm just like, what the hell is happening? So, but if I had to go back, I would say Doom and Halo.
Doom was fantastic.
I mean, games I just played for hours and hours and hours, in between, because it was Doom like all through college, and
Classic.
between that and then
Classic.
and then Halo was after the Xbox came out. But yeah, no, Halo, yeah, Unreal Tournament, also a good first-person shooter.
Classic.
Um,
That was a breakthrough game. Doom was the first breakthrough game. Unreal Tournament was the second breakthrough game. Then
Half-Life 2. Then
Yeah,
you have like
Half-Life.
Borderlands,
Borderlands, fantastic.
Quake, Quake 2,
was
3.
another groundbreaking game.
Yeah. So yeah, I think
That's it. I think we covered quite a bit.
we covered it. I know. I mean, I like after this. I always feel lighter because I feel like I have shed some wisdom and
Sure.
I've given it.
We should
you
do
know, 'cause
weigh-ins
wisdom is
before and
matter and
after.
contains weight.
It does. We should do weigh-ins
I mean,
before and after and post them.
That is a
We can-
good. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, how
What's
much
our
does
weight?
wisdom weigh? I don't know. My
Regain
shoulders
weight.
are lighter.
Right.
I think maybe it's the feeling you get from helping people.
I
And
agree.
Nothing really can replace that, except for Charlie, who just wants to have an orgasm with his girlfriend.
Constantly replenishing. What was that movie? What was that theory about they made a movie about 21 grams or whatever it is, like the weight of the human soul or something like that?
Right.
Is that what it's called?
Okay, another thing that I could get into now for 38 minutes. So, okay, don't sing.
Nope,
But we
absolutely
need
not.
to sign off.
We do.
And so,
It's time. It's
from
time to
both
sign
of us, we just wanted to say good night.
love
We will be
you
here
all.
next week.
We will.
We love you all.
9:30 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. We'll be right here.
Yeah.
And the
There's a
questions
link
under Green
underneath
Pants
me.
to submit the questions. and he will screen
Yes.
your questions.
Please submit
and we will-
questions.
We will then answer said questions.
Tell me where you're from, or I will put somewhere
Make
that
it
you're
up.
from. But
Please,
yeah.
if your question has an urgency to it, indicate so, because sometimes we're not
Right.
looking at time sensitivity. And also, if there,
Right.
don't forget
there
key-
are
key
questions
details.
sometimes that I get that will say, like, I have an emergency.
Yes,
It's like,
you'll get right to the top
right.
if we have
So,
the space.
but well, in those situations, I normally just call you directly, but it's fine.
Right.
I sometimes I help too much.
I know.
It's my own problem.
We
It's
do
my-
have.
It's
we-
I
I
push
know,
myself
we
too
do,
hard.
we do, and we have what's called offline mode,
do.
which is like if something comes urgent, we just reach out to those people directly and
Right.
do what we need.
We have sort of like I mean, when you have so much empathy, sometimes it's hard when you feel people's pain so
Yes.
much so, like the parable of the sower,
Yes.
hyper empathy. But Octavia Butler, no, okay. Anyway, good night, everybody.
Good night. We love you all.
love you.
Have a good night.
We love you.
We'll catch you next time.
And,
we will see you. And
Vanguard will
the
not
next...
sing.
I will not sing.
You sing. So,
I'm not singing.
yeah, next